Hello, friends, and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela, and today I'm here with kind of a fun, use it up, dig out all of those old items from previous projects that might not have been junk journal projects and turn it into something lovely that we can use in our journals. So before we get started, a quick shout out to all of our subscribers, all of our returning subscribers, and all of those who are new to the channel. Welcome. Specifically today, Kay Wolf, AK, Doreen Ball, and Nathalie. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for your comments. I really appreciate those. So I am back from vacation, and this is my first video back. Although by the time that you see this, I will have been back for about a week. But the other day, yesterday actually, today I'm filming this on a Sunday. So it is the beginning of March Madness, which is basketball, as some of you may know. And my husband and Landon really had a lot of games that they wanted to watch. So I wanted to be in my craft room, but I couldn't convince them to come and watch it downstairs on the big screen. So I took all of my stuff up and I decided to create. And here is kind of what I came up with. And let me tell you how this all started. I have, years ago, when Demi was little, I've told this story before, my sister and friends, my sister and I and my friends did a 39-mile walk for, I think it was for breast cancer awareness. I'm not sure which organization. But anyway, we had to raise quite a bit of money each to go on these trips. So I made hats and I made bows and I made, little tutus and things for little girls. Well, those days are long gone. My daughter is going to be 16 next month, but I still had this plethora of these flowers. And, they're at least 11 years old. So I was pondering whether I should just donate them, get rid of them, and thought, no, let's see what I can do with these. So let me show you a couple of things that I created. Well, first of all, let me move this. Let me show you what I'm dealing with, because that might help you. Okay. So what I did for my March Madness is I decided to pile on a bunch of different things that I had. I had found all of these circles that were I found some other things that will be on a video in the future. I'm like, I didn't even know I had that. But these were pre-punched and I'd had them for a long time. So I pulled those out. I have a little flower punch and I had punched a bunch of those out. These over here were from a recent thrift haul. So I threw those on there. These came from an auction a while ago, so I threw those on there. But this little pile are all of the pieces and parts that came from those past projects. And here's what they start as. So you've probably seen these. They come individually. Some of you may have these if you ever go to a thrift store or, even if you go to a Hobby Lobby, you can pick up the silk flowers, which I never used as they were intended. I would layer and do a lot of different things. But what I did for all of these and for many of the ones that I did when I was creating those bows and such is I would pull them apart. So now you've got layer after layer of flowers. This is a really inexpensive way, by the way. Instead of buying those, like the Prima flowers and the ones that are pretty expensive, you can do this and get, twice or if not 3 times more out of your flowers. So this is the little gem that I took off. This is the little stem that was in between it. That goes in the garbage. I just keep these aside because maybe I'll use them. So that's how they start. Here's one that has it's supposed to look a little bit more realistic. But I have piles of these in every color you can imagine. And then I had this whole pile of those that were just individual. And I thought, well, how can I make these? These are looking very kind of childlike, but how can I turn them into something pretty? So that is what we're dealing with today. And here is what I created. And then I want to show you something I tried just this morning before I popped on. So let's see. I think these are all naked, meaning, oh no, this is not. So this is, I created a hidden paper clip out of it as this one, and I'll show you how those work. This I made as a little tab. So this can go on top of a tag. It could go on top of a page. All kinds of fun things. This has, this is just the base. It is what it is. I just used a little vintage button in the middle. I used a lot of buttons. This one, same thing. Let's see. This one, oh, this one, I think I'm going to show you how to do this. This is also a clip, but I have a bunch of these alligator clips from back in the day. And so I transformed that into something that would fit on top of, you know, as a clip as well. So I'll show you how I did those. This one I used actually just one layer. I used some tulle that I have, which I also have a whole plethora of that too. Just one of the flowers. This is the tissue from a pattern. And then this was one of those, they're kind of like paper roses. Some of them are silk, those ones I got from the auction. So I created that one. This one, I just used book page and kind of added additional layers of flowers to it. And then I used just that last back page. Wow, last back page. And trimmed it with lace. So it will lay, you know, flat. But for now, it's kind of, it's like a bowl almost. This one was, I have a bunch of these little rosette ribbons, a roll of this, and so that just has some lace and tulle on it. But the possibilities are really, I always say this, they're endless. This one I'll show you how to make these little flowers, but this one I thought would be fun on top of a tag or a page. Of course it's in purples, and I don't have a whole lot of purple stuff, so I couldn't find one to show you. Here's another one of the paper flowers that I made to embellish with it. There we go. I'll show you how I did those too. I'm going to put that there so I don't forget. Here's another little rolled flower. This one was made from, I had all of these from an old scrapbooking project, so I used those to make that little guy or little girl. Here's another one, just using some different flowers, some of my Kool-Aid dyed paper and lace. And then this one, oh, I had cut some of my dyed book page out of that same yellow flower punch and made this one as well. So those are some that I had created. I mean, these went so fast. And I'm certainly not encouraging you guys to go out and buy a lot of extra things. I don't want you to, you know, purchase a bunch of flowers. But what I'm saying is, if you see those at a thrift store, if you don't have them on hand like I did, pick them up because they're very inexpensive and they make great embellishments. And, you know, some of them are a lot bigger. But the thing is that they don't, I mean, they're pliable. And so they don't get all messed up when you put them in your journals. So this one I adorned with one of my Masterboard journal cards. This is just a little clusters with some of that, I call it splashy paper. This one I put on a piece of my snippet rolls, my fabric snippet rolls that I made. I have a video on that. These two, I just made the journal cards into, you know, just a couple little embellishments on there. This one I made as a tag topper. This is just a regular tag with a little lace. And then this one is one of the sacks that I actually prettied up. So that is kind of how I used all of them. So you kind of get a visual of, besides the paper clips and all of that good stuff, how I use them. Let's just see. Here's the paper clip. So maybe we'll make a paper clip. what I really want to do is show you how you can transform them. This one, did I do anything with this one? This one I thought about putting here on this little journal page. This is another paper clip. So you kind of get the gist. And then I did stick one inside of my altered book, just a little one. And this has some of the paper on it. I tried to curl these a little bit better, but I just need to kind of bend them over, I think, because I liked that look. But there you have it. So that's what we're going to work on today. We'll just see how many we can actually get done. So let's move this a little closer to me. I'm just going to throw out a few of these. Oh, what I did this morning, these were all white. And if you can see this one, this already has my covered alligator clip on it from, like I said, a previous project. And it had some other embellishments. It was pure white. And so I took everything off that was the center. I used some of my mica alcohol inks. I used some of the Tim Holtz distress sprays, and just kind of zhuzhed that up a little bit. Same with these. These are coffee dyed. And this one has a little of the shimmer on it. This one is just the shimmer. So it's a little bit of coffee, but it's pretty white. And then these, they were really, like this one. See how orange that was? That was, this one and this one were the same. But just by using some coffee and distress stains, I was able to change the whole look of that. So remember, you can do that even if it's a colored, you know, piece. You can change the look of that so it fits. Like that one's pretty green, so maybe that wouldn't work so well, but we're definitely going to use that one. Okay, so let's just throw a couple of things out and kind of roll with it and see where we get. The first thing I'm thinking, I kind of, you know, I'm in the spring mode, but I need to be thinking a little bit about, you know, some neutrals or some more rich colors too. So I thought we would work with that. I've got some green. And then look at this. These are some of those from that thrift haul, and I think those might work too. So let's just start with that one and see where we go. So it's as easy as this, kind of deciding what you want here. And because I have all of my laces, and these are just my scrap laces, but I think I'll get those out so we can dig through them and see if we can put something fun in there. Let's see. I would put this over in front of me, but everything will probably fall out, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see what I got. I just stuck a little bit of fabric in there. That might be too much in the red. Let's see. I don't know. We might want to do this as a topper. Let's just plan that for now. But I think it needs a little something. What about just a little chunk of this in there? Could also use some book page too. Uh-oh. Scissors. There they are. So I'm just going to kind of lay some of these out. Do I want the green? I may. No. No green. Let's see what other colors. Maybe we want, do I have a tiny, this one. Nope. I don't have any tiny red ones. Let's just leave that how it is for right now. And then this I'm keeping out because I may use this on the back depending on what I want to do with it. All right, let's give this little pretty a new life. So this one already has the back on it. So I won't pull them apart, and I can't really put anything on the back. But let's see what we can do to kind of maybe make it a little more vintage. And add a little bit of femininity to it. Let's see. I've got this. Do I have a scrap of it? Maybe I have some, ooh, I found some peas. See, everything's falling all over. Okay, we're just going to take a bigger piece of this. Oh, that needs to be clean. I just cleaned it out, by the way. I made a whole bunch of things on another video, and apparently it's overflowing again. Okay, I'm just trimming off the piece that made it kind of ruffly, and I do save those because you never know, but I think this will be pretty in there. Oh gosh, I just about cut my finger. It is so good to be back. I was thinking while I was on vacation, I mean, it's weird to be on vacation and not have a bunch of projects. I did take some things with me in the off chance that I would want to do something. Let's see about this little guy. Now, the other one's here. Wonder what we could do. I kind of like that, but I'm feeling like we need something else. I'm not sure I love that particular flower. Let's see what else I've got. Maybe this one's a little bit lighter. And technically all I'm doing is just there. That's better. Layering it up a little bit. I wish, you know, if this was undone, I would put, maybe I'll just try to put some book page behind it. But it gave me a lot of time to really think, like, what could I, you know, what could I be working on? And specifically, if you haven't hopped over to Tanya at Tatty Treasures has a Facebook page. She also has a YouTube channel, which I will link in the description. But this month, she does a lot of challenges, and this month she's doing Spring is in the Air. So I was thinking, I was mentally going through my craft room while I was on vacation, thinking, okay, what could I do for some Spring is in the Air? I did the sugar mold inspired journal toppers. Okay, we're going to leave that like that. I like that. And I need to use those flowers. Okay, let's do another one that's maybe a little... Should we try one of these? Let's do one of these where we can layer it up. And make it a little more grungy. And this is where I thought, oh, I have so many of those flowers. And it's very flora and fauna. So let's just go with it. Okay. I think I'm going to set those to the side. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. So this is what I landed on. So if you have not, if you want to participate in this fun challenge, it goes from, I think it started on March 7th. It goes through April 2nd. And you just hop on over to her channel and ask to join. And then all the details are in there. And then you just post your projects every week. And you could be the recipient of a wonderful prize. So it's kind of a fun way to jump start your spring. Okay, let's see. I love how that looks, so we're going to want to use that. And we're going to want to use that, but I think we need some book page. So this is what I landed on. Now, some of these, what I did is I used my circle punch. Maybe I'll do that with this one too, just to add that dimension and layer. And like I said, even though there's lots of layers, they lay really flat. I kind of like how that looks. Shall we see? So I hope you guys are all doing awesome. I kind of like that. Okay, we might use this as a What if we put a piece in the middle and then we save the rest of it and make it as a tab as well? Let's do that. Okay, let's see what we got for our goodies in here. Goodies. What do we have? I kind of like that gray. It'd be nice if we had another brown button. It's green. That doesn't quite go. That might go there. Maybe it's kind of a brownie green. How about white? Okay, liking that. And then I think we could probably distress this just a little bit more around the edges just to give it. But I like, one of the things I would like to do is create a journal with just all neutrals, whites, creams, ivories. In my perfect world, I would love to have an entire, like my entire family room, all in those like shabby chic whites and creams. But let's just be realistic. We have kids and pets, and I don't think that that's probably going to cut it. Let's take one of these. Let me get to some of these bright colors, because I want to show you how you can kind of make that. I mean, those are really bright. But let's see how we can tame them down. I'm probably not going to use the purple, but we never know. Okay. Oh, you know what I've got? I have these. These were also just a little fur. It's still pretty bright. Let's just see if we can knock this down a notch with some of our, I think we'll use walnut stain before we start layering it up. And that just kind of tones it down just a smidge. And I'm not really worried about the center because that's not going to show. But I do want to get this done. And you could use acrylic paints. You could use, you know, this would be a good one to distress with your distress inks. I'm just kind of going to really grunge that up. Let's go ahead and do this one too while we're at it. But these have such, you know, it's such a nice variation of what you can use these for, because now I have this, I'm going to have to find a spot to put them, but now I have a whole option of flowers at the ready that I can just pop right on a journal page or a tag or a cluster, whatever. Like I said, I can make them into paper clips or clips. My walnut stain doesn't, there we go. I think I need to be more aggressive. So now look at how different that looks. And we're going to not use the fuzzy piece. I'm not sure if we need those, but we're going to leave this walnut stain handy. Okay, so, oh, let's use, I have an idea. Let me show you what I did with my, I think this is, I don't even know. Yep, this is a 2-inch punch. Okay, this, I don't know if you can tell, but this has got kind of a bluish green background, but it's got these colors in it, which some of them won't really show that much. But let's just go ahead and layer this up and see what happens. I think I need another piece of pink, another pink flower underneath here. So let me see. Oh, Vacation. Vacation was wonderful. Although Dave wasn't there, so that was kind of a bummer. So here's what I'm going to do just to make it more flower-esque. I'm just kind of making my own little petals. hard for me to see that. And then what you can do, which I didn't have when I was upstairs, was like just a pencil. Just to kind of curl the, I like them kind of, so they look like they're really, like they were really a flower, not just a round circle punch. So let's see. We did a lot of, I mean, we just kind of relaxed. We spent a lot of time at the beach, which, you know, the kids and I, we are very much a beach family. We love it there. So that was nice. We spent a lot of time at the beach. And probably the highlight, we went parasailing, which I had not ever done before. And it was so much fun. Oh, why am I gluing this down? I was just putting these all together. But oh, well, we're just going to put them down. Because we're at 26 minutes, so we should probably put some of these together. Okay, so here's what I did here. Oh, I know what we can do with this one, too. Do I want this one on there now? Or do I want the... Oops. Pink one. All right, I'm going to show you how to do this. We're not going to use this green one. And I'm going to show you how to make these little petals. So let's get this stuck down in the middle. So see right there? Not so gorgeous. Just kind of blah. But I have these little tiny 1-inch circles. So all I'm going to do, let's kind of use a variety. I'm just taking this circle, 1-inch circle. I'm just cutting a little. Let's see if you can see that. Just a little cut in the middle of it. So I'm going to do that. Might as well just do it with all of them. Now, when I did these during my March Madness marathon, I was very particular about how I wanted the words, you know, where I wanted the words, but today we're just going to have a little fun with it. So now let me get right up here. I'm just putting a dab of glue right there. Very little amount. You could use hot glue if you wanted. And then I'm just holding it together like that, so you can see it's kind of bent. And then to make my petals, I just kind of put it together like that. So let's do a kind of a greeny one. And that's all you do. So you could sit and make a whole bunch of these, which that's what I did. I made a whole bunch of them, and then I put them on some of my projects. But my whole intent, my objective for today was to show you guys just how easy it is to transform something that, you know, you may have had for a while and it had an intent and a purpose at the time, and it just doesn't really, it's not something either you do anymore or it just doesn't appeal to you as something that would be fun. You can find some way to transform it. And I think we're just going to do 3 petals in there, because we've got that other pink. Okay, let's put it down in there. And then you just take the end, or the bottom, the flat part. You're just going to put a tiny bit of glue in there. And you just lay it right on there. Use your finger to kind of press it down. Let's see. Okay, and then the next one, you're just going to kind of layer it. Make sure I got the flat part. Same thing. Okay, last one. I like that with that little flower on it too. All right. Now you could put this, you know, you could put this on a, like a book page pocket. I'm looking to see if I have any. I mean, I would be very surprised if I don't have any, but I just don't see any handy. Okay, so now we need something in the center of that. Let's see. What do I have over here? Oh gosh. Look at this. Too bad I didn't see that before. Because we could use that for something. This might be too pink. Nope, and it takes away from those flowers. We need something small. And this might be too small. Yep. Okay. Let's dig into our colorful. I'm just going to shake some of these out in my hands because that's not horrible. That's too big. And I don't really want it to match too much. Ooh, what's this one? No. It's glittery. Ooh, this one's kind of pretty. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I like that. Okay. That is it. So I've shown you how to do, showing you how to layer everything up. And what I did when I did these last night is I did all of the, what floral layers do I want? What kind of things do I want to add? And then I came down to figure out what the center of each was. So there you have it. Now you can put it on something pretty. Now that one doesn't look quite as good because it's bright. Let's lay this all down. And I'm just going to take it apart and start from the bottom. And the nice thing about these silk flowers is you don't need a ton of glue. It just kind of adheres right to it. And trust me when I tell you, if you use the right glue, it's going to stay for a very long time, because some of these that I tried to get apart did not want to come apart. The other nice thing is the glue, there's in a lot of these, like this one, you can see there's a little hole in there. It will seep through, which makes it easy because then you're kind of adhering them and you can just dab your glue anywhere inside and it's perfect. And some of these that I did, once I got them, like when I started doing something with them, when I put, for example, the paper clips on them, I did use a larger clip to kind of hold them together until they were dry. So if you're trying to adhere them to something, consider that. And I had thought, but it was evening, and you know how I am at night. Oh, look at that's got, no, it doesn't. I thought it was a heart. I thought about like putting thread through some of the flower or some of the buttons, and I was like, no. Okay, 2 down. Let's see if we can. I'm just going to hold that down while I do this. Just get some of those edges just a little bit darker. Just like you would see on a flower, although you don't see a lot of brown flowers, do you? That looks really good. And I like the little book page just kind of peeking out on it. Perfect. Let me grab a wipe. Sorry, it's going to be loud for a second. So let's see. Vacation. We were in Florida. We flew into Punta Gorda, and then we stayed in Bonita Springs, and then We went to Marco Island one day. I mean, we've been there several times. So, you know, we've been to Captiva, which is one of our favorite places to go. Fort Myers Beach, though, Fort Myers Beach had pretty good shelling, which was interesting to me. Sanibel is always fun. We didn't go there this time. And let's see. On Captiva, the Mucky Duck is one of our favorite places to go eat. And then Coconut Jack's, which I'm not sure if that's in Bonita. I think it's in Bonita. I think it is. Fun place if you're looking for some good seafood. One place I wanted to go, if any of my Florida friends that live in that area can tell me, I think my mom and dad have been there, but I wanted to go to Dolly's, which is, I think they do breakfast, lunch, all kinds of different things. And the dog just came down to say hi, as well as my husband. But we didn't go there. We did go to First Watch, which was a request from my daughter for breakfast. And I'm telling you, if you live in a city that has a First Watch, go. They had waffles and they loved them. I had Eggs Benedict, but it was on a ciabatta roll, which I'm not a big bread person, so I should have just got it without, but it came with like a bed of a variety of, I think, arugula and some other kinds of lettuce type things. Demi had a kale smoothie. She said it was delicious. Landon had I don't know, it was an iced coffee of some sort. He loved it. And then, they had a side of biscuits and gravy, which I tried, and phenomenal. It might be one of my favorite. It might be my favorite biscuits and gravy of all time. I loved it. All right, so now you're kind of seeing where we're going with this, but so simple to just kind of transform these. And don't be afraid to start playing with them, dyeing them. I have still this stack, and I think I'm going to leave these kind of handy, the ones I've already taken apart, and just kind of, maybe I'll put them in my splat box and just zhuzh them up like I did with the book page and see where we get. But you can see how fast these are to do. And I mean, let's see, there's 4 that we just did. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to run out of space. 13, 14, 15. And I didn't work on these for that long. And we got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And a whole bunch more over here. 21, 22, 23, 24, and the one that's in the book. So 25 of those in just a real fast minute. So you can just knock these out, and now you've just built a stash of these to use in your project. So I hope you enjoyed these. As always, if you have questions or comments on how I did this and what I used, please reach out and let me know. If you want to participate in Tanya's March challenge, which is Spring is in the Air, then hop on over to her Facebook page, which I will link below. And I just wish you a fantastic day. As always, remember to find time to just be, and we will see you next time. Cheers.